to infinity and beyond.
Everybody, Roger and James here from DisKingdom.com. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2 not having a VR mode. But before we get into that, just want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we go on any further. Just keep you guys aware of what's going to be happening with the podcast. I'm going to be making a slight tweak. You're going to be getting 3 episodes a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then what we're going to be doing is me and James are going to be doing relaunching the DisKingdom podcast. So you'll find that on our DisKingdom channel, where we'll be running Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, where we'll be talking about general Disney as a whole. So we're actually doing 1 extra episode a week, but just go so you just can know. So be sure you subscribe to both channels to keep up with the latest of them. But anywho, let's jump into the Star Wars stuff. So this was in an article in Metro where I think it was Criterion had said that they have confirmed there is no VR mode. They said they took enough effort to do the Rogue One mission, and they said that they find VR to be very important. And also the guy in charge of EA, Andrew Wilson, recently said VR is going to be part of gaming's future in the coming decade. So, what did you think of this?
It's not really a surprise. I mean, the amount of effort that it takes to do a VR game, and the number of developers or actual programmers who are available to do it is than regular programmers. So having these resources dedicated to VR doesn't make sense unless you're going to do a full VR product.
Yeah.
So making it an add-on to a game that doesn't have VR built in automatically doesn't really make sense. It was a cool demo for the first one. I never got to play it.
No.
Because I don't have PSVR and I don't have an HTC Vive or whatever, but I want to, and I really want it to be a full experience. And I think if they're going to release something, an X-Wing full VR title, or maybe a $30 or $40 budget title would make more sense.
I can't help but see they looked at the numbers of people that downloaded Rogue One and played it. Maybe not necessarily downloaded it, because I downloaded it, but didn't. But those that played it go, is it a financial benefit to doing it? And I would guess no, because I don't think the install base is there for PSVR. I think there were about 500,000 units sold of these units.
I'm not sure of the numbers, but even if you can add in, the HTC Vive on the PC and the Oculus Rift on the PC, you can't be looking at too much more than 1 million units overall, which for hardware is
tiny.
minuscule.
I mean,
minuscule.
The Super Nintendo Classic is going to have millions more than that. And we talk about the Switch. Not a lot of them have sold. Well, it's the highest selling console of the year, and it's doing well. But this VR thing, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit like, oh, okay. I was hoping there might have been something, because I was looking for that thing to try it out, to be the reason to go buy it, because I kind of want to. I've like I said, I've got an appointment booked later this week at EGX to play on the VR unit again, to give it a second go, because it was an awful experience last year, so I decided to hold off. So this was kind of the one thing I've gone, well, if there's another mode, this could be a reason enough for me to buy a PSVR. Now that's it. That was the only reason last year I wanted it, was for that Battlefront. Where no VR this year. It's now probably just going to make it a complete non-sell item to me. And first generation, I think this is just going to be a big skip. And not Battlefront, I think was a major element of that.
Between Battlefront 1 and Infinite Warfare, which had the Jackal mission, I think there was a lot of incentive to try out a PSVR, but they never followed up with a full product. No one has followed up with a full product for PSVR that does the air combat simulator. There's a couple for PC, but you're still only talking about a several hour experience rather than a full 10+ hour game. And this is the problem with VR at the moment is, where's the chicken, where's the egg? Are there not any good games for VR because no one owns VR, or does no one own VR because there aren't enough good games for it?
And you don't make one, you don't make the other one, but it's trying to convince someone to make that risk to do it. We talk about
I should amend that, not to say that there are no good VR games. There are actually some very, very good VR games. There just aren't enough games to justify dropping $400, $500 on it.
And at the minute as well, I feel very much it's in that mode of, we're in that Blu-ray versus HD DVD, VHS versus beta mode, where there's all these different VR units, and none of them are making any proper waves because no one can properly get going on them. If the HTC Vive and the PlayStation or the Windows version, if they all played the same games because everyone was just porting everything to everything, you might be a little bit more inclined to do it. But all this exclusive stuff, I think it's actually counterproductive at the minute because there's not enough reason for people to get into VR full stop because of that.
Yeah, that's especially true on the PC side. The HTC Vive is generally pretty good about this. Most stuff that works on the Vive will work on the Rift, but the Rift has the exclusivity stuff going on. I can't remember off. Oh, the Marvel game
one.
The major one.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. I got to play that one. But again, it's not going to sell me on a Rift while the Rift is still $400. And I would still much prefer to have the option of being, all right, well, I can do this on PSVR, maybe in a diminished capacity, or HTC Vive, or Oculus Rift, or whatever's down the pipe, because other companies are going to get into this after it's established.
I'm definitely even Sony don't seem to be putting a lot of impact on this VR unit, and I think again just missing out on that stuff. I mean, see, the fact that they did actually release the VR unit a year after the Star Wars Battlefront. I don't think this is the plan for this one. I mean, personally, they'll have this longevity of this game. They'll probably be starting work on Battlefront 3 straight away to do a couple of years on that anyway.
They're probably already working on Battlefront 3, to be honest. These guys plan their production cycle so far in advance that I would not be surprised if we're even past like the art phase where they're actually starting to code stuff in. But yeah, nobody should really be surprised that Battlefront 2 doesn't have a VR mode. Maybe a little disappointed. I would love to see the new ship combat physics that they're demonstrating for the single player mode and the squadron assault mode in VR. But yeah, if the developers and EA are sitting there saying we can either make Rogue 2 or we can make more hero characters, more maps, more whatever, then I think it's obvious what most of the gaming population is going to want.
Yeah, and I think at the minute they're definitely in that thing of spending money on things like this. See, we're seeing it. It's always with the Switch in a minute where companies are trying out different things, but this VR one, it was a little bit like, okay, that's a reason enough not to buy it this year, so that's definitely off the table for me because that was all going to be the main one. Unless they announce Marvel Powers United, that might be a little bit of a kicker, but generally I just think it's dumb. And just these little things, it's just that feeling of that gimmick, that 3D glasses, that kind of thing where it comes in and disappears again. Though I'm holding out on a PSVR because on PS4 Pro because I'm hoping there's going to be a little bundle like there was 2 years ago, which had that special edition version. Because I'm in the market for a PS4 Pro and I'm waiting to see if they announce a special Darth Vader Star Wars model. Unlike that awfully looking Call of Duty one that they released the other day, which was green, which just looked awful. And it wasn't even a Pro. But nevertheless, what would you guys think of Sony VR not getting a Star Wars Battlefront 2 either mission or part of it? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. As per usual, you can check us out over at DisKingdom.com. James, where can they find you?
You can find me heroiclegacy.com. And I would also ask, what would get you guys to buy a VR? What would be a system seller for you?
Okay. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll see you guys soon. Later.